100%. Yep.
This is why there needs to be line item voting when we vote on taxes, because there's a lot of fluff thrown into what y'all need
Yeah.
compared to what's wanted. And so some of us who live in the county, we want to vote yes, but we see that the city has added fluff into that for their purposes, and we can't vote for that. So line item voting would be fabulous.
Yes.
Well, when Fire District 1, so we're a special district, just like South Cheyenne Water is a special district, they can ask up to 8 mills per property value for the area they serve. Keep in mind, they serve a much smaller area than we do. We cover about 180 square miles out of what used to be just one station. We have 2, now we have 3 stations. And it takes a long time for stuff to get going because we have to wait for that money first before we spend it. The other agency, if we rewind the clock back to the 2016-16 vote, that's when we got Fire District 2 at the time, got $2 million to build their station, and we got $2 million to build our station out of Archer. Their board decided to go out and get a government loan to build it right away. Guys, they're still, and our board said, we're gonna wait till we have the majority of the money in our account before we go out and spend the money. All right, they're my bosses, I get it, no problem. Fire District 2 is still paying their interest. Their interest costs are over $250,000 a year. And they're still paying for their station. Our station is done, it's built, it's almost finished, but it's paid for. So you have 2 different budget theologies going on, right? But we're still partners when it comes down to fighting fire and all the rest of it. So back to the mills. So we're capped at 3 mills. It is what it is. So with an additional 1.32 mill levy increase, we should be able to pay back our $3.1 million bond in 6 years.
So how do we change that cap? I mean, well, obviously something has to be done. How do we do that? Clarence, can you address that?
You'll have to change the statutes.
Yeah, state statutes or legislation action.
That'll be a legislative act.
Yeah.
And with everything going on right now,
Yeah.
we're not going to change the mill levy, especially on property tax.
$250,000. The assessed value at 9.5% at the beginning of our bond is what we're going against. Ended up being the increase in mills would put that at $1,500 taxable value. And so that property, believe it or not, was only paying $31.35 additional every year for 6 years. So when our attorney, our board's attorney said, well, what about the bond payment that they're on the hook for helping us pay off the bond because their property was in Fire District 1, now it's the city's. What about this extra money? Well, you can do the math really quick, and it's not that much money, really. Really. To throw a big stink about $200-300 is kind of silly in all honesty, but that's what we did. We said, well, hey, that's not fair. That's not fair to all the other people that are still living in the Fire District 1 paying their taxes, and these guys sold out. And a developer says, hey, go into the city, they'll take care of you. Writes the petition, boom. Now they're off the hook on bond payments for Fire District 1. Where does that put the rest of that lingering money unaccounted for? That puts it back on the rest of you. So that's the impact that we're worried about and that we have to face the music on. We didn't foresee the city annexing this large area. We didn't see the city annexing all the tall grass and then going south to the new Microsoft, all that other kind of stuff.
Chocolate Road.
Yeah, and all the way down to Chalk Bluffs Road even. So, I mean, really, here we are, and we're super limited. And there's also, as a fire district, we don't have much teeth. We just don't. But presenting the facts to say this is what's going to happen. The more annexation that happens, the more everyone else has to pay, and the less actually we're going to get to operate on. So On top of that, just really quick, a side note on Senate File 0136, and that's a property tax reduction that made it through the third reading, so now it's going to the House committees. What we're preparing for is, I told you our operating budget was $1.2 million. If this passes, LCFA, which is Fire District 2, and Fire District 1, collectively, we're looking at anywhere from losing $200,000 to $300,000 right out of our operating budget next fiscal year.
We're over $1 million, Chief.
What's that?
We lose over $1 million.
Yeah, and so these are some of the other impacts that we have to be aware of. We're keeping our board members told, hey, this is what we have to plan on. Our budget process starts actually in April is when we start talking about our budget for next fiscal year. But this bill alone is also very concerning by itself, on top of the annexations and what's going to happen. So I brought up that we have 40 firefighters, we have 5 paid staff, we have 3 openings. The 3 openings haven't been filled in over a year. And right now we just have volunteers that come in and we actually pay them to fill that seat. And it's not the safest, it's not the best, but that's what we have. Because volunteers can't break away from their full-time job to come in and cover a daytime need. And so, again, it's all comes down to budget, planning, that transparency. We'll get everything out there on Facebook, on our website, whatever else. Come in. Our board meetings are the second Monday of every month at our Station 2, which is 6805 Winchester Hills Boulevard. We'd love to see people come in. We'd love, no problem for me. And if you look around, the board members are shaking their head, yes, come in. You're part of our community. We're here to protect you. You pay your taxes. Be a part of it. I mean, we're here for each other, and really, it's concerning around the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I heard a good saying, and that was, it's a partnership over patches, and really we are for the entire county. We're partners with Pine Bluffs, we're partners with LCFA, we're partners with Chugwater, believe it or not. Chugwater comes down. Albany County, Vidavoo, we're partners with them. They call for help, we go. And then I'll bring up the Greenie State, Colorado. We have a mutual aid with Nunn Fire in Weld County. We also have a mutual aid with Wellington Fire and Laramie County. They call for help, we're coming, and we don't have to worry about an EMAC or anything else from governor to governor to cross that state line to go help our partners. So really, there's a lot of the stuff that happens in the background that not many people know about because we don't talk about it. You call 911, a truck shows up, life's good. And that's why I'm here. So I'm open to any questions.
That's clear to say.
That's all you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to the mayor, especially for being
Can I have the